Hi, today we're going to talk about foundation and foundation tools. That's why I'm so up close. If you are familiar with K-beauty, it was very much a trend last year to be applying your foundation with a spatula. There's a Korean makeup artist by the name of Ham Kyung-sik. He's been in the business for a very, very long time, and he's always used spatulas to apply foundation, and he teamed up with this brand called Picasso, who's a really big kind of manufacturer of makeup brushes in Korea, to create this spatula, and this shit blew up. I think they sold like 500 to 600,000 units of this in Korea alone. But yeah, all the girlies were obsessed with using these things. Because this one blew up so much, other brands started releasing their own spatulas, and there was even one like this from Philly Millie that has a foundation on this side and a smaller one for concealer on this side. I never really gravitated towards these because I did end up finding this one from Amazon. They're all basically art spatulas, but there's something about this one that applies foundation better, I feel like, than this one. And I just find it more comfortable and easy and faster to use. Mind you, these are literally just art spatulas that you can get at the art store or whatever. There's even this one from the brand Hua Hong, which is an art brush brand, but like a lot of people use them for makeup. But this one I also really like as well. It's smaller, but it just applies much thinner, the foundation. And the whole point of applying foundation with your spatula is to get a really thin base, because we know in K-beauty, the key to good makeup or a good K-beauty base is to have it really thin. But because his spatula blew up so much, him and Picasso went back to the drawing board and collaborated again. But this time they came out with two new spatulas. One of them that kind of looks like a gua sha, but then they have this other one that's like a 2-in-1 sort of spatula. It also comes with a little pouch, but there's already a case in it. Why you need a pouch? Anyway, they kind of call it 2-in-1 because you can use this end to, of course, apply your foundation, but you can use this end to scoop out skincare or like any pot products, and you can use it to apply with this. So you can apparently use this for both skincare and makeup. The gua sha I wasn't really feeling, so I went with this one because they also say you can use it with cushions, because you literally can just dip into the cushion using this, apply it more evenly, and use the puff that's in your cushion to kind of like pat it in. Technically, it kind of defeats the purpose of because the cushion is already supposed to be more convenient than the liquid foundation, so it's kind of adding another extra step to that conveniency. But one of the kind of downfalls of a cushion is that a lot of people tend to be very heavy-handed when they're applying their foundation. So cushion, oftentimes people end up putting really heavily and it looks very cakey. So I guess this is supposed to prevent that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to try applying both my skincare and my base foundation using this spatula. I'll do a liquid foundation on this side and a cushion on this side. I actually did try this a few times already, so I have formed a few opinions on it. But for cream, I'm gonna use my Energy Seeding Cream from Begins. Just gonna scoop. Not that much. Already, the first thing I kind of have a complaint, I guess, about, because there's like a little dip in here to use as like a spoon. When I go to wipe it off onto the back of my hand, there's a little bit left because it's a spoon, right? And it doesn't completely flush against the hand. So I honestly wish they just had made this end flat completely, but because it's not that, I would just use the back end of the spoon, because that way there isn't any skincare stuck into the spoon. When you're scooping foundation or skincare, you kind of just, you do this, I guess. Oh shit. I noticed that skincare, obviously it's much thicker than liquid foundation. So I've tried it with this La Roche-Posay Chica Plast Balm, which is really thick. And I noticed what you have to do is kind of spread it out onto your hand first and then use the knife to pick it up, because otherwise it's so thick, I have trouble like getting onto the spatula. So there's that one little quirk, I guess. And with this, honestly, I find that it's better to literally just kind of like slap it on. If you try to be all like precise, if you watch Ham Kyung-sik do it, like use his foundation on his clients, he's very like meticulous, but girl, if you try to be meticulous with this, you might as well just fucking use your hands, right? The benefit of this is that you're supposed to be able to use little skincare, but be able to spread it across your face in a more efficient manner. And also because it is technically smaller than the original spatula. This one is this wide, but this one is this short. It's easier to get into spots like this and on the nose. I do need to get a little bit more skincare for my forehead, but at this point, having already tried this stuff, my first kind of like thought after using all this is that the only person I feel like this would really benefit is makeup artists. because it's much more hygienic using this kind of stainless steel tool to pick out your products, apply them onto the skin.
You can literally do the same with the other spatulas I showed earlier too, lol.
Or you want to be more gentle with your client, where instead of, for me, I like to really feel the skincare going into the person's face who's I'm doing. So I like to use my hands, but some people they don't like being manhandled like that. With this, if you're a makeup artist, you can just like kind of lightly swipe the skincare onto the client or the foundation and just use your hands gently. Or as many makeup artists do, they'll apply the skincare on and then you can use a puff or a sponge to kind of gently blend it in. So it's more hygienic, it's more gentle, and it's, I guess, faster. But yeah, honestly, as cute as that was, I would have preferred to just use my hands. Because in the end, I'm still patting it with my fingers anyway. So why not just use your fingers to just and then blend it in? But they also said you can use it for like face masks, the kind that are in a pot that you put on and leave on and then wash off. Now, I have experience with using spatulas for foundation. I was really into it for a while, but one of the things I noticed is that it really works the best with very specific types of foundation. I don't think it works for every foundation. Like, for example, I think it works the best with really liquidy, runny, and more moisturizing foundations. If you use a foundation that's more fast drying or very like long wearing, one, you have to be quick, and two, I find that it's just hard to spread and you can't layer it as well because otherwise you kind of scratch the surface. A lot of Korean YouTubers that will talk about the benefits of the spatula will say like, oh, because you apply it so thinly, you can keep layering it and you won't scratch your foundation. But for me, I notice it does scratch the foundation a little bit. So I'd rather just do it in one go. But if the foundation is more liquidy or runny or more moisturizing, it's easier to layer. Same thing with cushion. I tried this with this kind of like matte long wear cushion. This is like a velvet cushion. One, it was really fucking hard to spread. And two, it ended up being really patchy and cakey looking. So I'm gonna retry it, but this time using more, you know, liquidy moisturizing formulas. This is the Hera Glow Lasting Foundation. This is like one of my favorite long wear moisturizing foundations. I'm just gonna use this, pick it up like that. Besides being able to apply your shit thinly, you can use way less product and you're able to almost fill in the pores. See, I think because this formula is more moisturizing, I'm able to spread it really beautifully like this. With the drier foundations, it was so hard to like spread it across, I noticed. But I was able to cover pretty much all this area and there's still some left on the spatula, so then I'm just using a puff to pat it in. I did see a few Western creators, like on TikTok or something, trying this method of applying foundation, and some of them had a little bit of difficulty. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Asian faces tend to be rounder, like the cheek area, so it's easier to apply using this sort of spatula. If you have more of like an angular face or more like cheekbones, or you got, I don't know, you got your buccal fat removed, and so you're giving that, it's gonna be a lot harder because the surface isn't like flat. But yeah, that was actually really nice. Now let's try with the cushion. This is what I'm really excited about. I mean, I did try it with this, but I wasn't really feeling it. And I know the Tear one, the Tear My Glow Cream Cushion is a really nice formula. It just sucks that it doesn't come in that many colors. I can usually go between a 21 and a 23, but I think this one is really, really pale. You take your cushion and you literally just dip it in there like that, just like you're picking up liquid foundation from your hand. Let's say like I'm like traveling or something and I only have these two things, right? So I'm just gonna do that. Then I would just take the puff that's in the cushion already and just use that to blend. I think another benefit of using these more runny foundations is that you can spread it across your face a little bit more. With the more matte cushions, like wherever you apply it with the spatula, it's pretty much just there. When I try to use the puff to blend it, it's not really moving it around. But with this, you can concentrate a lot of the foundation here, where most people's you know, redness, acne, or like spots and pores are, and then just spread it out towards the outer and the inner part of the face where the skin is a lot thinner and requires less foundation. But that is a really fucking nice finish. If you have a foundation that's really, really fucking full coverage and you find that you always end up with a cakey finish, you might want to try the spatula method. You can totally just get this shit on Amazon. Like I said, I got this on Amazon.
I literally can't find it anymore, but any palette knife will do, honestly.
I like it because it almost has a little bit of give to it. Like it bends a little bit, so I don't know. Across skin, it just feels more comfortable. With this, it's literally just like this hard ass like piece of stainless steel that doesn't move or budge. So on places like my forehead, I always found it a little bit difficult to apply. I'm gonna try the cushion again on my forehead. You see that? Like it's like not applying even. That's because my forehead's fucking weirdly shaped. My forehead's like not flat. I always compare my forehead to the head of a alien from Alien. The tear puff is like this. It's like this egg shape, so it's very long. It's like longer than other cushion puffs. So just using my 2 fingers here, I feel like I have a lot of control, and I really like applying it with like this because it just feels natural to me. I do have some extra spots here. Let me see if I can cover them using the same cushion. Let's see if I scratch the base. I've seen some people go back and forth. That helps some people. I don't really like doing that though because I don't know, my skin feels a little bit like I'm scratching it already. So I don't want to do it too much. I think it covered the redness a little bit more, but my spots, I would use concealer for that anyway. So I don't like putting too many layers of foundation to begin with. I don't think it really affected the first layer too much. But again, I attribute that to the formula itself. I tried layering this cushion once before. I like this cushion by itself, but if I try it with the spatula shit, it just gets so like messy and like it gets scratchy and it looks horrible. It looks so dry and cakey. Look at that glow though. I don't think this has anything to do with the tools that I use. I think it's just the formula itself. But I think a good test of how thin you apply base is if you touch the base with your finger. If it leaves any mark, like a dent, there is a spot here where like my finger picked up a little bit of that oil from the foundation, but it didn't leave like a dent. So I think that is a good sign. Let's try this side. Oh, hold on. Nothing. It just took away a little bit of the shine because my finger is dry, of course, so I pick up some of the moisture from here, but wow, 좋은데? Am I saying that you can't use this with like a matte or like a satin finish foundation? No, but it is gonna give you more trouble and it's harder. I like applying matte longwear foundations with either a foundation brush or like a 모공 brush, you know, more brushes like this. Either this kind of brush or this kind of brush. I just find it loads the product easier and I'm able to like stamp it onto the skin. Although I like what I ended up with, do I think it's necessary? Absolutely fucking not. The original spatula method I already found to be, like, it's cute for the cheek, but it's hard on areas like here, like the nose. Oh, hard is not the right word. It's just, there are much easier ways to do it. But I guess the benefit is that you do save up on how much foundation you use, because when you're using this, because it doesn't absorb anything, all the foundation is just going on your skin, so you can use way less product, and you do actually end up saving foundation. So that is definitely a big pro for applying with the spatula. But other than that, I really think most of the benefits lean more towards what makeup artists would want. And if you're really looking for that thin, like skin-like base that doesn't look like foundation staying on the skin, this is definitely like the way to go. And I guess another kind of benefit that I've noticed throughout my time using spatulas is because you're applying so thinly, when you do use a puff to blend out, you know, after you apply it with the spatula, you use a puff to blend it. So little foundation gets on the puff that the foundation doesn't go into the sponge super deeply. It's literally just on the outer coating. So it's so easy to wash off and you're not spending minutes and minutes trying to get all the foundation out of the puff or sponge. I'll wet this and then I'll just run it across like a bar of soap and it's clean like instantly. So that's another benefit of using this kind of spatula to apply it. That also goes for your cushion foundation, because usually when you're using a cushion foundation, you use this to dip in, and so this shit is loaded with so much product over time that it gets gunky and it applies patchily. So if you were to use this kind of spatula in tandem with your cushion, you're using this to apply the foundation, the cushion foundation, and then using this to blend it, this becomes so much easier to clean. I don't think it's a bad product, it's just one of those things I think is not super necessary, but I think will be cute to have every now and then. Like if I'm bored of applying foundation the same way every day, then I'll just, you know, hop into this and, you know, do that. So yeah, anyway, there's me trying the new 함경식 and Picasso tool. In Korea, you can get it at Olive Young. Would this even matter if you're like not even living in Korea? I know Olive Young does global stuff now. I don't know if this type of product is on their website. So anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye.